Welcome to the Land Your Bets Sports Betting live show. Welcome in, everybody. Got a beautiful Tuesday because I finally won some bets. Thank God. And honestly, the only thing that dicked us yesterday, was Dick, because he got two bets that we had in that were worth 2 units for us, and he didn't play the end of the game because Coach Darko for Toronto decided to go with the hot hand, who was Chris Boucher. But as you guys are trickling in, hopefully you got some of these bets from yesterday from Modai and myself. I had Bain, who came through because he owed us big time. Joval also came through, which I felt really good about the Joval pick because Joval, the whole bet was based on him coming back in the game and playing a little bit more at the end than he might normally because Rudy Gobert is out there and you can't leave Alex Sarr against Rudy Gobert. So love that Joval had 7, came back in the fourth quarter and got his final rebound to help us out. Appreciate you, my man. Then we had Norm, who kind of scared people in the first half, but I also said in the Norm write-up that I gave in the VIP Discord, Norm is going to do better in the second half. In the first half, we're going to get Kawhi. In the second half, we're going to get no Kawhi, which is what happened. He dropped 22 in the second half of that game, and they won that game pretty handily. Our boy Zoo came through for us as well. I should have bet on the points as in addition to that. He had a 20-20 game, so great job, Zoo. And Max Christie, I felt really good about too because he shot like shit, and we still got this. So when you have a role player like that who you can guarantee is going to play 30 to 36, sometimes 38 minutes because he's the best defender on ball, above the break, everything like that for the Lakers. So JJ keeps Max Christie in there for minutes, and his sheer amount of minutes on the floor lead to a bunch of volume and shots specifically. Left out the rebounds and assists for Max, which I loved. So we got the Max Christie in there. And that is very true, Samir. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you too often, my guy, but it is something that happens to people, which is that Dick will fail you. So yeah, love the wins there. And then only thing that sucked, as you can see, was Grady, who had 3 boards at the half. So shout out my man who was pointing us, and a lot of people went and pointed us in the right direction of Dick's rebounds as well. And so I appreciate that on the RA and stuff like that. I'm going to stay away from the assist for Grady Dick when he's playing with like Bruce Brown and Scotty and everybody else like he was yesterday. But the points and the boards, those should keep Dick hard out there. And he kept us soft yesterday. So fuck you, Grady, for right now. But really, he didn't get the minutes in the fourth, so whatever. If you do want to jump in the VIP, finally back up 37.5 units. Right now, no specials other than the consistent one, which is if you do want a free month, you can sign up for any of the books that are listed in the description of the video. Have all the links there. Going to add a few books and all that. Just sign up using code LYB. Get all your free money and all that good stuff. And then send me a screenshot on Twitter or Discord showing me that you signed up using code LYB, and I'll get you that free month in the VIP where we're going to get back on this heater now that we have 2 winning days in a row. All right, I'm going to get into what we're looking at here, and we got to start with some of the schedule stuff as I also jump into y'all's bets here in one sec. But as we pull up the hashtag basketball, I just want to throw that out there real quick for you guys, and definitely go ahead and give that video a like if you have not yet. We're going to be going through as much as we can today, and hopefully you guys get something out of it. But those likes are much appreciated, go a long way for me specifically, and live producer David on the 1s and 2s, as always, behind the scenes, the voice from above that we'll be hearing as well throughout the show, because we got a lot of injury news to look at. But what I'm looking at right here is hashtag basketball, also linked in the description of the video. This is the premier site for me. I love the display and the layout of it. We actually have this pulling through now in one of our Excel sheets so we can mess around with it. But what we see here is that on Tuesday and Wednesday, those are the 2 days I have highlighted, because that means there's 8 teams that are on the front end of a back-to-back. So we talk about how it's important to know who's going to play, who's on the second leg of a back-to-back. Maybe they have some tired guys, but we also want to know who's on the front end. And the thing for Philly is they're going to be playing OKC today, but then they have the Knicks tomorrow at home on national TV tomorrow night. It's Wednesday tomorrow night. So this game will be nationally televised. We'll get Embiid in there. We'll definitely have Maxey, who's currently questionable. But these are things to keep in mind when you guys are looking at who to bet on, how many minutes guys are going to get. I do think the Thunder will try to sit guys if they're I'm sorry. That's completely the opposite. The Thunder are a team I'm okay to bet on some guys because they're not on the front end of a back-to-back. They're not playing tomorrow. So they're going to get a bunch of rest because OKC's not playing for a while after this. But keep all this stuff in mind. Hopefully you guys are checking that out when you look at your bets. This is Props Madness. If you do not yet have Props Madness, you can go ahead and get a free week trial if you want when you sign up. And when you do sign up, if you use code LYB, that'll get you a 25% discount on your first month. So any questions about the tools that we're using and anything like that, throw them in the chat. that in addition to the bets that you guys have that you want to look at. Happy to answer any questions, make sure everybody understands what I'm doing. But like I try to tell people, this is what you get on the show and in the VIP Discord is you get a lot more one-on-one talk, right? We're not going to just be throwing bets your way. We're going to hopefully help you learn how to do this yourselves as well. Let's kick it off in the first game, and I'll go through. I've got the bets scrolling on the bottom line, but I'm also just going to go through game by game, and I'll just go over those bets as we get them, as we're going over the relevant games. So let me start it off here. What's the one at the very top? Let's just do it in order. Yeah, Pacers, Cavs. So I know what those bets are going to look like. I don't have a bet in this game, but it's a good way to start it off because I can jump in the comments and see what you guys got. So if anybody has bets for this one specifically, I'm going to look at those and see what's up. David, anything that stood out to you specifically for either a Cav or a Pacer? I see this one here too. Is that something that piqued your interest there?
We don't have too much in there yet for Cavs. Everybody was still on the dick, but
I got you. Yeah,
this one caught my eye.
Everybody's on dick still. Yeah. That's going to be tough to get over. So Mobley boards or Jared Allen boards against the Pacers. Yeah, we can look at those guys real quick. I was also thinking Miles Turner because of the fact that when they play teams that have good bigs down low, then you get a bit more Miles Turner out there as well. And this would definitely constitute one of those teams. Actually, let me just see if I'm lying to you. What did he do last game? I thought about going over on his 13.5 points, and I didn't. He had 15.5, played 29 minutes. I'd have to see how many fouls he got, but let's see about the Mobley or Allen boards. Let's kick it with who's ever up top. Mobley's first. Looking at his rebounds, he's been a beast lately, man. Yeah, he's been beasting. So, yeah, the last 5 games here, over in 4 of 5. Charlotte, he had 15 rebound chances and just 5 boards in that one. They end up winning by 10. I don't remember anything about that game, to be honest. For Mobley, 8.9 on the season. And there's nobody missing, I don't believe, that we would really care about for this game. I'm just going to pull up the official NBA injury report real quick and go from there. And yes, please don't let me forget about Nembhard as well from TWC. David, I'm going to definitely need to look at Nembhard tonight. I have a couple of thoughts on him. I know he's going to be the popular pick, and we'll talk about it. Just Ty Jerome is out. That's the only guy. So there's nothing here for the injuries that we need to worry about for this squad. For Mobley, I just want to see real quick on Samuels what he's at on the season. Evan Mobley this season. Just do it like that. And I'm pretty sure, it's with Jared Allen, but I don't think Jared Allen's even missed a game. So he's at 30 minutes on the season, about 9 boards, and it's going to get bumped up to like 9.5, right? The Pacers on the season, rebounds allowed, they're 14th limiting rebounds overall. I guess you would definitely call him a power forward. We can see, I do think they give up they got Pascal in there now. Before Pascal got there, they were pretty bad about limiting power forwards. So I'm pulling up just FanDuel Fantasy Pros to see the position versus team defense. Hopefully you guys are using this to at least like gauge how a team plays against a specific position. So if we're looking at power forwards here and we're pulling up rebounds against Indy, Cleveland's actually giving up the 3rd most rebounds to power forwards. So that kind of talks to what you're saying right there, Anna, which is the Siakam under. Not sure if we want to go that route. I know that there's going to be some looks at under for him against a team that's big, but that's crazy. Pacers are in the bottom 10 still, giving up rebounds to the opposing power forward, and then somehow Cleveland's worse. That's wild to me. If we look at Mobley against this team, we look at similar position or by position, let's just say power forwards. So Mobley, he had 12 against them 2 days ago. Now, Dean Wade also had 9, which I think Max Strus is going to start in this game. So I don't know if we want to mess with the college professor, Dean Wade. Then Jalen Smith backup came in. He might have had more minutes in that game, but he had 7, Giannis 12, Santi. So not the best hit rate for power forwards going over on their boards in this one. I don't really usually bet on Mobley as much unless it's like a really, really good matchup. I think he'll be going up against Pascal. Then you get Jared Allen. The thing is, he's kind of pulled away from the bucket guarding Miles Turner. So he had 9 on 17 chances. Yeah, I think I'd probably be going in the direction of Mobley before this, just mostly because of the forwards versus centers. Like Miles Turner at least can get down there. Let's see Indy versus center rebounds. Actually, they're equally as bad. So yeah, they're not the best. They're giving up 14th they're 14th in rebounding, but they're giving up their bottom like 6 limiting rebounds to both the bigs. I don't really like particularly either of these numbers. I don't like taking bigs against Indy. Maybe these numbers prove me wrong. But like I said, when you're guarding Pascal and Miles Turner, you're playing out on the 3-point line. And at this point, they might both be getting a little bit of bump too from no Tyrese Halliburton. So probably stay away from the rebounds. Jared Allen first quarter points is always a look. It is 3.5, minus 130 at this point. He's hit this in a ton of games real quick. 100. He's hit this in 25 of 38 games. You're getting minus 130. The implied odds real quick, just so we can kind of tell. Hopefully y'all understand implied odds. If not, hit me up directly at JL Boogie. But if we look at American odds at minus 130, that's an implied percentage of 56.5%. So they're saying there's a 56.5% chance that Jarrett Allen gets 4 points in this quarter at this minus 130 number, right? But yet the hit rate is at 66%. So it's not just 1-to-1, but right there, you're seeing that like if we believe in the hit rate, then we believe that this is a good price for us, because they're saying it's 55%. We're saying it's closer to 65%. Just simple math, that's a 10% edge in and of itself. So you might consider the minus 130. I think this is one of those things where it's like, if you're buying Bitcoin, you're just buying $10 a week or a month or $100 a month or whatever you're doing. This should be the Jarrett Allen bet. If you can just somehow auto bet Jarrett Allen over 3.5 points, don't think about it. Just do it every day. You'll make money over time. It's just an inherently EV bet. I do love this bet. So if that's one that you want, like, take it. I have no problem with it. How many points did he have last? He had 8 minutes and he only took one shot against this squad. So do what you will. I think if he takes at least 2 shots, then he's good to go. But let's get to a couple other things from this one. There was a couple that you just brought up, David, that intrigued me. Nembhard we at least got to get to. I got there before you could remind me, but I appreciate that you were going to remind me. Let's see, Nembhard. Obviously, what we're looking at here with Nembhard is what I was talking about with the squad earlier today, which is Andrew Nembhard. I just go, sometimes it's just easiest to start on StatMuse. Just go Andrew Nembhard with and without Tyrese Halliburton. Problem is that Halliburton hasn't missed a game this season, so you have to go and type in specifically last season, so you can see last season's numbers, which are not 1-to-1, because I don't know how many of these 11 were with Pat. I mean, I can go over here, which I will in a minute. But either way, the thing that jumps out to me is that he played 24.6 minutes last year with Tyrese. He played 26.6 without him. And I don't know that we can just slot him in for like 30 minutes the way that he went off in the playoffs, because last season in the playoffs, he went crazy. So if we look at him last season on Props Madness, go to 23-24, pull up without Tyrese, and then we look at this is everything, right? This is playoffs and regular season. So these are the 2 playoff games without Tyrese. He went bananas. In fact, if you actually just do, I can just filter to just regular season, still pretty good numbers, but it's at 12.5, right? 25 minutes, 27, 29, 30, 37. But we were also missing Miles Turner, TJ McConnell in these games. You see what I'm saying? So like there's other dudes missing. It's usually like 27, 28 minutes for him. So how do we feel about that? Let's go back to this season. What happens when Andrew Nembhard plays at least 28 minutes this season? Let's look at that. And obviously this is still considering that Tyrese could be on the floor. I wanted to do this for myself anyway, and I haven't yet. So 28 minutes, he's still at 12 points per game. He had 28 in this one, but he shot 64% from the field. So before we just all hail Andrew Nembhard, this is a really good defense that's got to be pissed that they just lost by double digits to the Cavs, to the Pacers. The Cavs lost by 15 to the Pacers. This game is in Cleveland, or no, this is in Indy tonight. But either way, I got to imagine they're going to come out pissed that they lost that game, and they're going to be doing work. So that's one thing to consider. Let's at least look at Fantasy Labs real quick, and then I'll probably move on if there's something else that sparks my attention. But I at least wanted to look at this earlier, and I didn't have a chance to. So we are doing this live. Looking at this is Fantasy Labs. This shows you on-off court numbers. So not just in games where a guy missed or didn't play entirely, but what happens in the minutes where Andrew Nembhard is playing this season without Tyrese Halliburton on court. That gives us at least something to work with. So let's go Nembhard on court. Let's put Miles Turner and Pascal and Benedict. Let's put Benny Matz out there. When we say Benny Matz, we're talking about Benedict Mathurin, but nobody has time to say that every time. So Pascal's the last one right here. So we got Pascal, Turner, Nembhard, and Benny Matz. And then we got off court, we're going to at least put Tyrese because he's not playing in this game. All right, there's only 14 minutes that we've had these lineups out here. So let's take a couple guys out because I don't necessarily – actually, these guys are too important. So it's 14 minutes. In that 14 minutes, Nembhard, he took a bunch of shots, 12 shots, but he made 10 of them. So that's why his points are so high. The assists are high, too. They're at 10. This would be the dude that would be diming up, I would imagine, And if that's the case, but his assist got all the way up to what? Yeah, 6.5, juiced all the way down. So that's why I'm not like in a rush to bet on Nembhard. I think I'm a pass on that one. I do think the Cavs are going to come out with a vengeance. I was looking at Strus because I think he's going to get back into the starting lineup. He did not start in this last game versus the Pacers, and he didn't play well. 1 for 6, 23 minutes, and just 3 points. So I don't know that we can bank on him, but 8.5 is low. And what's interesting is that the Pacers suck against the spot up now, which is the exact opposite of what the Pacers were last year. So if you're using Props Madness, scroll down a little bit when you're looking at a guy's points, and you'll see the play type that he uses and how the team that he's going up against, how do they defend that play type. So for today, if we're talking about Max Strus, he's scoring 60% of his shots off of his points off of the spot up shot because he's just waiting for someone to pass him the ball so he can shoot a 3 from being in the set position to do so, right? So that's really interesting because last year, this was, I think, the number 1 team against the spot up. Yeah, number 1 against the spot up last season. And in one season with the same personnel, they've gone to the worst and completely changed their defense, which is totally fucking with me. But yeah, there's nobody really missing that you worry about. Max would be a guy, I don't feel comfortable betting on him. Even if he took 6 shots, like that's not enough for me to like him to, I guess he needs to make, I mean, they're mostly threes, honestly. So what's the threes at? 1.5 minus. This is where I'd be going. I mean, this dude's taking every single one of his shots from 3. This is 5 of 6 shots from 3, 7 of 7, 6 of 7, 5 of 9, 4 of 5, 8 of 9. It's like 65% of his shots are 3-pointers, if not more, maybe 70. So if you're going to take Max Strus, he's either going to hit the threes or he's not going to get his points is kind of how I see it. And if we can get 1.5, minus 140 sucks, but 2 threes for Max Strus is at least a potential leg. All right, let me move. The last thing I would consider, there's no Ty Jerome. The reason that would be important is because Karis LeVert's in the second unit. Did Ty Jerome miss last game? Yeah, he did. He's going to play. He's not going to play again. LeVert only took 3 shots last game. He might come back with a vengeance, but that was a consideration, is that Karis LeVert and Ty Jerome are the main dudes on the second unit. And so maybe there was something there, but there isn't. So we're out. Quick reminder, as I move over to the next game here, the Sixers and the Thunder, go ahead and give that video a like if you would. Hopefully y'all are getting something out of it. Appreciate everybody in the comments too. I know there's a lot, like, I'm very grateful for this. There's a lot more people coming in these days than there used to be. I used to be able to pretty much see everybody's comments. Maybe there was like a couple hundred people in here. It's just a lot busier right now. So just wanted to say, like, if I can't get to your comment or whatever, I apologize. David and I are actually working behind the scenes to figure out how to, like, maybe organize this even more. But I see plenty of people I've seen plenty of times, man. I appreciate you guys. We got Diego in here. We got Andre is always in here these days. David Cruz, DeJounte Murray. Yeah, we're going to talk about that game in a minute. Y'all got a lot of really good looks in here too. So rather than just name them all, I appreciate that David's kind of just cycling through and bringing them up so we can keep an eye on them. But I'm going to get into Sixers and Thunder because I have a play in this one, a couple plays. Other thing too, just for those that jumped in, because the last time I said this, there were a lot fewer people. There is the opportunity to get a free month in the VIP. We're back on the winning streak 2 days in a row, looking at 3 today, back up to almost 40 units. So back up to like 37.5 units after yesterday. Got dicked by Dick, but we moved past it. If you do want to jump in, go ahead and sign up for any of the books that you see scrolling underneath me right now. And on top of that, they're linked in the description of the video. These are 2 of the examples. Underdog, BetMGM, but there's plenty more. There's Better and a few others in there as well. So check those out. Sleeper, if you don't have that one. Sign up using code LYB, get all the free money and all the bets and all bonuses and all that. And then send me a screenshot on either Twitter or Discord. DM me at JL Boogie, and I'll go ahead and get you a free month in the VIP. The chat is where it's at too. I'll say there's plenty of really good VIP cappers in here, like Free Sauce, Go See Mike is in here, and a few others that I haven't seen yet. But if you see some of their bets scrolling around, I'm gonna have a way to notify you guys who is VIP and who's the guest cappers that we have in the Discord, and you can see their bets coming up as well in the comments, so we can make sure we're not missing their stuff. A few guys on a heater right now too. TG Proby, not sure if you're in here, bro. My guy from St. Louis, but he's on a heater as well right now. Been just slinging winning tickets. All right, let's get to what's the next one I got here? Yeah, OKC and the Thunder. Pulling that one up. Let me get this coffee. All right, so what we're looking at on Props Madness here. My first look is we still have Tyrese Maxey questionable. Is that right, David? Nothing updated there, right, with Tyrese?
Just the update that you love, which is he participated in shoot around, remains questionable Tuesday.
The fact that he was in shoot around, the only thing that would scare me about Tyrese playing, that he would not play would be because of what we were talking about on hashtag basketball a minute ago, which is just that this team is playing a big game against the Knicks tomorrow. This is a game they're not going to win. They're not playing Joel Embiid. They're going to get smacked eventually. So they're going to play some backups alongside Paul George, which I think it's interesting Paul George is even playing. That was one bet, and I'm a little bit scared of it. I kind of actually liked the fact that Maxey might play because it gives them a better chance. And I probably lost some CLV on this. I got Paul George plus 102 to get over 12.5 rebounds and assists combined. So that was my first bet from this game. And what I was looking at here is what I was talking about on NBA Advanced Stats right up here. So this is Fantasy Labs, shows me on-off court numbers. I'm going to show you Paul George. In fact, I already have this shit done, so I don't have to sit here and click on everybody that I want to put on off court. But what I'm looking at is I can take on the Sixers, put on court who I want, so I can see how has Paul George done when he's played alongside Kelly Oubre and Tyrese Maxey. But off court, there was no Andre Drummond, there was no Jared McCain, Embiid, KJ Martin, or Kyle Lowry. And by the way, Caleb Martin is also questionable to play in this game. But how has he done in these situations? And I'm going to make these stats standard, not advanced. And if I'm looking at this, there has been, like 112 minutes where those three were on the court without any of these five right here up in the right. That's who's in the red. Paul George is at 8.9 rebounds and 7 assists per 36 minutes. And as long as he can play 32 minutes tonight, this number still should be at about 15 rebounds and assists combined for Paul George. Thank you, David. You can leave that up for 1 sec because I do want to use that in a minute. The rebounds and assists, 6. So let's say at about 30 minutes, and this is how I find some of the projections, right? We go per minute, and then we project how many minutes he's going to play. So per minute for Paul George, he's at 0.25 rebounds, 0.19 assists right here. So that is 0.44. All right. 0.44 times if he plays 30 minutes is 13, right? So right there, you have a pretty good projection based on the per minute that he's averaging. And you put him at 30 minutes, he's at 13. He's going to play as close to 36 as possible, barring the complete blowout right away from this game. So for Paul George, like looking at his numbers this season without all these guys, even with Maxey and Oubre on the floor with him, and probably some Gershon Yabusele as well, right, who's going to start alongside them, these are really good numbers. If Tyrese Maxey doesn't play, it's pretty much the same, but it actually goes up to about 17 rebounds and assists per 36 minutes for Paul George. So that's one of the bets I have that's scrolling on the bottom line that you'll see there. And I can't get away from it. When Paul George is playing without both Drummond and Embiid, which I can just do that on Props Madness real quick, the numbers are pretty awesome for the rebounds and assists. Even just the 4 games he's played, rebounds and assists, he's averaging 14, over in 3 of 4. So 11.5 is great, but 12.5 I'm still good with for plus money. So I would still take either that you can find right now. Other play in this one, I took Hartenstein on the double-double. Shout out my guy. I'm not even pronounce it. I actually don't know his actual name. I'll find out in the VIP chat. I know you're listening. What's your name again? R. Korth. So that's why it's tough. There's a lot of consonants in there. But my guy, the firefighter from Wisconsin, brought up how Isaiah Hartenstein is at 11.5, and then his rebounds are also at 11.5. And my bad, David. Yeah, I'll come back to that Atlanta stuff. I didn't mean to be like, you have to keep that up or anything. We'll come back to it. But that's good to know that Bogey and Trey are both playing. And I think I can use that Bogey info for the Atlanta game. So we'll come back to that in 1 sec. Isaiah Hartenstein, 11.5 for both. But the double-double is plus, was plus. Yeah, there you go. Xavier Baltimore knows what's up. Let's look at FanDuel real quick directly. This is where I got the bet that I have for Hartenstein, who is scrolling on the bottom line. One of my favorite fucking players, man. Points, doubles under combos. So if we look at the DD here, it is still plus 105. So I got even money. This is actually getting better. The thought process would be that this is going to be a blowout. Like, why is this such good odds for him to do something that he's got 11.5 points, 11.5 rebounds, but if he gets 10 and 10, then you give him even money. Obviously, it's tough to do both. Like, you can't guarantee both stats, so that once you add points, rebounds, whatever to it, now it's tougher. But this spread is at 12 right now, 12.5. And this was part of my write-up in the VIP Discord, right? So follow my logic here. at this morning, this number for Isaiah Hartenstein, this morning, the number of the spread here was about 12 and a half, right? And then or about it even hit about 13 and a half. Then Tyrese Maxey is ruled questionable. He's downgraded. The spread doesn't change at all. How does the spread not change because I think that there's a thought process that I agree with, which is stars out, bets up. So this game's not necessarily just a guaranteed blowout because the stars for Philly are out. You're going to get guys in there playing for their jobs, playing for their contracts, playing for playing time, playing for money, right? Guys that are legit playing for money versus the Thunder who have all their guys wrapped up with millions and millions of dollars per year. None of them need to give a shit, and they're 12.5-point favorites. Doesn't that scream first half cover for Philly, just like underdogs? I could be totally wrong. The Thunder could be like, we're just going to put this to bed and dip. But the other thing working in our favor is, once again, Oklahoma City is not playing tomorrow. All these teams are playing tomorrow. So all these other teams have a reason to rest guys as much as they can today, but the Oklahoma City Thunder do not. So I think that this is actually going to be human nature kind of, just look ahead game for OKC, who actually don't even know who they play next. OKC next, they play Cleveland on Thursday. So yeah, I think they're just they might try to wipe the floor with everyone, but they have time off. I think this is a look ahead game. There's no way they give a shit about this. They've had Cleveland circled on the schedule since their loss the other day, and now they're back in OKC, right? For this game against the Cavs. Yeah, they're back in OKC. So they're going to be looking at that game. They're ready to smack the Cavs in the next one. So I think this game will stay close enough that Isaiah Hartenstein has to play the third quarter. That's my logic. Hopefully that all made sense to everybody, but that's where I'm at. I think the other thing is he's going up against Gershon. So to Andre's question about Gershon, love Gershon. What a story. He's hilarious. The Dancing Bear is his nickname. Great dude. We all love a chubby power forward who's also like kind of athletic, big booty, Charles Barkley style. We get it. He's like 6'7". Isaiah Hartenstein's like a legit, 6'11", almost 7 feet. Like it's the same thing as Joval, who's a healthy 7 feet. Joval just had like a double in the first half against Gershon when the Wizards and the 76ers played in this game over here, where Gershon had 10 points against the Wiz, and he did have 12 boards. So to your point, the rebounds are. Oh no, this is Hartenstein. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong guy. Let me start over here. Gershon against. Oh no, he had 21 points. What was his rebounds at? He got 8. He did get 8 in that one. I hate taking Gershon's rebounds, and I really don't want to. So please don't make me. I don't think I'm going to. PG rebounds 7.5. That's what I'd be playing over adding the assists. To the question by Carlos here. Good question. The rebounds you can see without Drummond and Embiid a little bit better. Plus, we're talking about the Thunder. So the Thunder limit assists third best in the league, and they limit rebounds not well, right? What are they? The either second or third most rebounds allowed to their opponent. So yeah, I think PG boards is probably a good look. There's also going to be a lot of long rebounds. OKC gives up the most rebounds to guards as well. And PG, for all intents and purposes, is going to be the point guard if Maxey's not out there. And when Maxey is not on the floor, if he does play in this game, PG is going to be the dude running everything. So that's the reason I don't mind adding the assists. We get a pretty nice addition of just 4.5. I think this should be 5.5 at like probably about even money at 5.5. So 4.5, the fact that it's at that number, we get that to add it. I like it. But yes, if you're taking just the rebounds, is that really what it's at? Yeah, because you got to get 8+ to get good money. So if you're at plus 110, looks like Caesars has plus 126 if you can bet it, plus 115. And I'll just say it one more time because I was talking about this earlier today. If you live in a state that you can have more than one book, there's zero reason not to have every single book. I don't know how many states only have one book. I know Florida only has Hard Rock. At least you have a book, but don't be prisoner to one book because then you don't get to use other lines. What I mean by that, for those who just don't know real quick, ESPN Bet right now is offering 6.5 rebounds for Paul George at minus 130. That's a better number than DraftKings 6.5 minus 145. But if you don't have ESPN Bet and you only have DraftKings because you don't want to spread your money around, you don't have enough money to put into multiple accounts. Okay, I understand not everybody has the same means, but if you only have $100 at your disposal, put $25 in 4 different books. Otherwise, you can't get these numbers, right? Or now you have to deal with putting money into the book, whatever, do it. But keep your money in your account and then just deposit it each time. You could do it that way too, right? You don't have to have money in ESPN Bet's accounts, whatever. So just make sure you have as many books as possible. You don't have to have money in the accounts. Just put money in when you go to bet, take it out when you're done betting. It's really that simple. Or leave some in to bet with, but you get my point. Just wanted to make that clear. Yeah, shop around. Let's go see Mike, VIP capper. I wanted to play. Yeah, it does, man. But no state tax, right? So like, look, whatever. It's probably really nice outside right now. Just don't step in a swamp or get eaten by a python or some shit, and you'll be fine. Or fall into a sinkhole. That's my fucking fear with that state is the sinkholes, bro. I can't bet any overs. Mark, I see you with some good looks too. I can't bet any overs or go crazy on these alt lines with the Thunder. Here's my prediction for this game. This stays within double digits or within 15 at the very least, maybe double digits in the first half, right? Third quarter, if you look at the Thunder, I'm going to just show you something real quick too. And this is going to be how I'm betting this game. This is EV Analytics. I know Hannah, not Hannah, also known as JK, who's a VIP capper. I don't know if he's in here right now. He loves this site. He attributes I think 2/3 of his wins that he's had, and he's made some good money this year, he attributes to this site because this shows you not only spreads and how teams have done against the spread, but it shows you first half money line in the first half spread. You can see all the game props here that you can have. This is all in front of a paywall. So all this is free. You don't have to subscribe to this site to get all this info. And I think we can find third quarter spread right here. Because here's the other thing, when you can look ahead to these quarter bets, right? So if we're in this Oklahoma City Thunder game against the 76ers here, let me make this bigger, my bad. I made it smaller on you. If we're looking at this game and we're going over to, let's see, third. Yeah, hell yeah. That's what's up, Andre. You can go to third quarter, right? Most of the time for these quarter spreads, they're usually doing about half or 1.5. They finally started to catch on to the Thunder and are making them 2.5 points favorites in the third quarter. But for the most part, they're going to keep these spreads super low because they don't know. The game hasn't even started yet. The Thunder are the best fucking team in the league without question in the third quarter. Wait, is it not letting me unless I log in? No. Okay. So third quarter spread. I do need to log in. All right. Nobody steal my information. And also, if anybody out there sees somebody lander bets that's trying to feed you shit and it just looks like a bunk ass graphic that a kindergartner made, it's not me. I can make a better graphic than what he ever did. But yeah, there's hella people scamming out there nowadays too. But this is third quarter spreads on this season. Right, third quarter spread and how they're covering. Where's OKC at? So they are 23-15 against the spread in the third quarter, which is about a 13% ROI if you're betting them each time with one push. But part of that is based on just how they're dominating the third quarter. So I think that's going to be the case. Is it's pretty close. It's pretty close because the Thunder are overlooking this game, and then the third quarter comes around and they just lay the hammer. So I'm just making sure I'm not lying to you. So I'm going to quarters, all quarters. Where's that at? Right here. We'll go just the third quarter. I want to see what their plus minus is. Plus minus over here in the third quarter. Yeah. So they're leading the league in plus minus in the third quarter, 3.6 points that they're winning the third quarter by on average. That's why they're covering the 2.5, 1.5 numbers so consistently. And then there's a couple other teams, but the third quarter is so big. I mean, I paid for a lot of student loans and shit with the Warriors third quarter bets back in 2017. For anybody who remembers, they won every goddamn third quarter and blew every team out. And you just take alt spreads, just auto bet that. It's kind of where I'm at with the Thunder right now. So that's how I see this game going. It's why I can't take a ton on guys like SGA to get 30.5, or well, he's actually down to 30.5, which is nice. It does seem like they're starting to project more of a blowout, and these props are starting to sort of reflect a blowout. Otherwise, Shai would be at 31, 32.5 against a team that's not going to be able to stop him. Nobody can, but definitely even this team right now that's so undermanned. So keep that in mind with stuff like SGA. I will say, go see Mike, one of the VIP cappers, also brought up a really interesting point that SGA might want to be scoring. If he gets 30 plus against every single team this year, he'll be the second guy to do it. I forgot who the other guy was, but that was a really interesting find that you had, Mike. Whenever you get a sec, Mike, let us know what that find was. Maybe you just copy it over from the VIP Discord about SGA scoring at least 30 plus points against every team in the league. He almost did it against Toronto last year, or he almost did it last year, but then Toronto buckled him because he got hurt on a cheap shot in the Toronto game. Couldn't get 30 plus against Toronto. And this year he could do it if he gets 30 against every single team, which I think he's on track to do right now. Love that shit. That's why we have Mike out there. Mike's our acid better. I don't know, we would mushroom better, we should call him, because it's just this galaxy brain shit where he's finding these humanistic angles, probably microdosing, and then getting his shit and going from there. Although from what I hear from Mike, he's not good at microdosing, but he claims to do it. He might be the world's worst microdoser, but it's not that he's bad at taking shrooms. All right, let's see. All right, cool. Thank you for pulling that for us, David. This is what Mike was talking about for SGA. So something to consider there, but I'm good on that. And I can't find anything else to bet. You'll find I don't bet stuff outside of Isaiah Hartenstein on this squad for the most part, because you've got SGA scoring all the points, but they put his prop up at 30 or 32. J-Dub is always going to score 19 to 22 points. Like, look at this. It's like 19, 22, 28, 20, 27, 18, 20, 18, 11, 30. Like, it's all from about 18 to 22 points. I don't like betting on J-Dub's points. Same with his boards. It's anywhere from like 5 to 7 rebounds, and it's going to be 5.5, and it's all going to be 4 to 7. And it's just a pain in the ass to try to figure out which game he's going to do this. Are they going to blow the other team out? I don't like figuring that shit out, but they have one really, really good center right now. And until Chet Holmgren comes back, he's still going to be getting the bulk of the minutes and all that shit. And yes, say no to drugs. Good thing that mushrooms are found in nature and can be untouched and still consumed. All right, let's go to the next game. I hate this game. I'm going to be honest. I don't have shit for this one. But as we move on to the Suns versus the Hawks here, I will say go ahead and give that video a like if you would. And if you do want to jump into VIP, don't forget that we do have that deal going. Sign up for any of the books that you see scrolling underneath me right there. They're all linked in the description of the video. Sign up for any of those. Use a code LYB. Make all your money. Send me a screenshot showing me that you did that. You can reach me at JL Boogie on Twitter and Discord, and I'll get you a free month in the VIP Discord. Super easy. Really happy that we made money again last night, up 3 units on the night last night. So back up, creeping back up to 40 on the season, looking at 100 for the year that we're going to hit. So, all right, Suns and Hawks. I hate that they just played each other the other day. Let me just pull up Trey, and we have Trey and Bogey both in now, so we got to use that info. Oz, I see you too, bro. Good to see you in here. I know you had an early look with Capella on the board, so let's at least kick it there. One thing that we do need to know about Phoenix while I'm telling you this, and here's my thing, and it does impact Capella, is newsflash that Mason Plumlee got his ass beat the other day. Pause. I know phrasing, all that. I get it. But like Mason Plumlee got done in the other night by Mark Williams, who had 23 rebounds or 26 points, some shit against the Hornets, right? Mason Plumlee got worked over in this game right here. So he got 15 minutes and he was starting. They're trying to trade Nurkic. Everything at center is up in the air and a mess for Phoenix. So I don't know what to do with that, but it is going to impact Clint Capella. And if we look at Clint Capella's stuff here, Oss, what was the look? Was it the rebounds, David, that Oss was looking at, or the points for Capella? Probably the rebounds, right? Yeah, Capella over boards for CC. Also, David, is it not crazy that we're not getting any injury news right now besides right?
Yeah, nothing's really popping up.
You would have had, so I feel like in the recent days, even you had like something by now for like 40 minutes since the show started, and they're not giving us dog shit. All good. We'll stay on it. But the rebounds here for Capella, I was looking at these because of some of the unknown for the Phoenix Suns. 9.5 is at least a beatable number. This bitch at 10.5, and I'm out. I'm not taking 11 boards consistently. Like, you got to look at this 9 rebounds per game on the season for dude, right? He's had a few big games, and yeah, we'll keep that up. There's Free Sauce, one of the VIP cappers. Make sure you're checking out his shit as well. My New York brethren, under 4.5 boards for DeAndre Hunter. Let's get there. Yeah, I'm not going to find something for Capella. I'm going to tell you right now, like he's playing like 22-ish minutes on the season. Onyeka is playing about 20 minutes on the season, right? Nothing for me that to really be able to like find the disparity between these two. When one of them doesn't play, great. Or if we get like an 8.5 number for Capella, great. I'll look at it. But there's nothing here that draws me to it. DeAndre Hunter on the boards on an under. So it's down to 3.5. So on 4.5, it's there, but it's juiced hella, right? You probably got a better number, I would imagine, Free Sauce, on the look here for DeAndre. It's minutes for him too. I mean, Duke can't keep his hands to himself. He has 3 personal fouls by the second quarter, like every damn time that we bet on him in the last couple of weeks. He was a bet, right? He was a really nice bet on the points, just based on, but he was, a lot of jump shooting, a lot of making jump shots, not as much getting to the free throw line as of late, and that's really dipped in. But plus the minutes have been under 30 because he can't stop getting 3 fouls by the second goddamn quarter. So that's what's kept me from betting on him. If you're going to take an under on him at 4.5 boards, I don't know if I'm gonna recommend that -156. That the odds are shot. Maybe if you add it to something else, like this might be a situation where you could get like DeAndre Hunter 15 plus points combined with under 5 boards or something like that. Like you can do that alt stuff. And anytime you take an over on one stat for a player and an under on another stat for a player and you parlay them together, you're going to get better odds because it has negative correlation. They assume that if he's out there enough to get the rebounds and you took under, but you are willing to take over on the points, whatever, then there's going to be some increased juice on your odds. You're going to get better return on the bets that you make. He's all the way down at 17.5. At some point, we've got to like come back to reality because we've got no Jalen Johnson. And let me see, 40 here. So he's played 28 games. He's gone over, or 27. He's gone over 17.5 points in 19 of 27. Let's look at this without Jalen Johnson for a minute. Without Jalen Johnson, it's just the last 2 games that he stopped hitting this pretty consistently. And the man's averaging 19 on the season. So it is a pretty decent sample size to tell us that like he's there with it. If we were to bring him up on Fantasy Labs as well, you'll see like without Jalen Johnson, he's at like 25 points per 36 minutes. So he's still scoring hella. Let me make sure I'm actually not lying to you. Now I just want to look at this real quick because no Jalen Johnson is a big deal. This is like where I will start to look at. Onyeka Okongwu assists could be a look. I don't know why he would have to dime. I guess if he gets offensive boards, and then passes it back out. But let me start here. Let's put on court. We know, actually, I don't know if Bogey's going to start. I think Bogey is going to start. Bogey, Dyson Daniels. Let's get Trey and Recherche out there. That's 3 of them. And we know Clint's going to start, but since Okongwu and Clint play the same amount of time, I don't even need to put them on here. I just need to put all these guys on. Oh, they're not going to have very many minutes together at all. And they actually haven't played on the same time, but that's good. So we got no Jalen Johnson, whatever. So 33 minutes that those dudes have played together this season. That's really not enough to help me. And I forgot to put DeAndre Hunter out there is the thing. So yeah, if we actually just take all this out and just look at like how everybody's doing when they're on court with Trey, how about that? just Trey on court, Jalen Johnson off court. Let's see let's look at the minutes. Where's DeAndre? DeAndre Hunter has not played that many minutes. He's only at 14 points. I'm off it. I'm off it. I do see under 4.5 boards. If you can get it for anything that's close to minus 130 for under 4.5 boards for DeAndre Hunter, I see that. Trey's at about 12.5 assists without Jalen Johnson this season and 21 points, taking 16 shots, just not making a lot of them. Trey has not been reliable on the points this year. And he is the like exact type of player against Phoenix. The thing to keep in mind as y'all try to bet on Phoenix, they are very good against catch and shoot. They are terrible against the pull up. This is Mike Budenholzer, their head coach. Since he was in Milwaukee, this is how he plays defense, right? His teams stay on the catch and shoot guys. They don't leave their shooters. So when guys drive and they pull up, they have a lot of opportunity to score because they're in single coverage, right? There's nobody coming to double team them. So Trey should be good. He takes a ton of pull-up. He went 6 for 15 last game, got to the line. They lost by 8, 34 minutes. He's not trustworthy this year, man. He's just not a bucket the way that he was. So, all right. Yeah. Davis told me we got to move on. It's 3.
I was going to interrupt you. We actually have an injury update.
Okay, great.
All right. So Tyrese Maxey actually ruled out.
Okay, great.
Ty Jerome ruled out.
Yeah.
Caleb Martin ruled out.
Oh, wow.
Grayson Allen available to play. And then if you want the Cavs lineup, it's going to be Garland, Mitchell, Wade, Mobley, Allen.
They did leave Dean Wade in there, and they did not put Strus in there. So, yeah, we're not going to go back to Strus because that was one look that impacts for sure. All right, great info. Start at the top again for me. What was Maxey out?
Maxey out is the most
and
impactful. Caleb Martin and Ty Jerome. I guess.
Yeah, Ty Jerome is out too.
And Grayson Allen's available.
And Grayson Allen's available. Yep. All right. All right. Right. So Tyrese Maxey's out. I've already got my bet and Paul George in. This is only going to go up. Hopefully you guys did get that close to when I hit it. Oh, it's down at 11.5, right? Well, this is not pulling through, right? Everybody took all their shit down right now. So stuff's going to come back up for that and we can revisit it. But I think we're like the other look would be Bogey. He did play last game. He had 17 points, 28 minutes. He's now got like 5-6 days of rest. So I do like that for old man Bogey. And yeah, I guess, did Bogey not start last game? That's a really good point that Edwin's bringing up. Let me, this is popcornmachine.net. If you guys haven't seen me use this yet, this is really good for seeing like who started and what was the rotation of minutes. So, and there's other sites that show this. This is Game Flow. Yeah. So Mark's talking about Krejci too. over his points in 4 straight. All right, good look. Appreciate that, Mark M. Let me pull up where we at here. They didn't play. They played on the 9th, right? They played a minute ago against them. So this is the last time that Atlanta played. And I know they have a game tomorrow. Who's that against? Against Chicago, who is much worse than this squad. And they're in Chicago. That'll probably be where some guys sit, like Bogey, which means that we're probably good for some minutes for Bogey tonight if he's either going to sit or play fewer minutes tomorrow with potentially some guys back. But let me get back to my point here, which is this game, the starting lineup was, Vit was in there, and then Bogey came in. Bogey is going to finish anything around a close game, though. You can see he played the end of the 4th quarter, and that's how I believe he ended up with more minutes than Vit, right? So Vit is right up here. He had 26 minutes. Bogey ended with 28. So they're playing around the same amount of minutes. And in this game, let me just see what Vit did. So Bogey took 11 shots, really good shooting percentage there, 50% from 3 and 64% from the field. But he's going to pull up as well. He's going to take plenty of pull-up shots alongside Trae Young. He'll get some catch and shoot as well, but he'll still have the ball in his hands a decent amount. So Vit in the last game, that's the only thing that scares me too about Vit. Man, look at these. So he's shooting a good percentage. Let's keep that in mind. The volume is at 8 points. 5 of his 8 shots, the volume is at 8 shots. 5 of his 8 shots were from 3. So we know that. Then 4 of 6, 6 of 8. So it's about 60 to 75% of his shots are coming from 3 for Vit. So his 3-point prop is at 1.5. And he's been making 3 of them because he's been taking, hold on. 12. This is no bogey. Bogey and bogey. Okay, so 2 bogeys and 22 and 26 minutes for Vit in those 2 games. Both close enough games that this is like a normal rotation. They lost by 26 here, no bogey. And they lost by 19 here, no bogey. All right, so Vit makes way more sense for the 3s, does he not? Like, if he's going to get 2 of them, he's not getting 8 points without 2 3s. Let's start there, right? Like, that ain't happening. We can look at that real quick by just showing if he hits a certain amount of 3s. Let's say he makes 2 3s, 0 to 2 3s. How often this season has Vit Krejci gotten 8 points when he has hit 2 or fewer 3s? 1 out of 19 games. There's no point in taking the points if he's not hitting the 3s, and we're getting good odds for the 3s. So that's where I'm starting, is like, if we think that he's going to get 20, he's been playing 20-ish minutes. So with bogey, he's averaged 24 in the last 2 games. Let's look at minutes and see for Vit Krejci. I know I'm saying his name wrong. Somebody, if anybody wants to correct me, please feel free. Let's put this at 20 to 24 because that's what he just played. So he has not done it that often. 20 to 24. Oh, wow, wait, because he played more in the other 2 games, right? So 20 to 24 is what he played. I thought he just played 20 to 24. What did I do wrong here? Let me go back. My bad. So in these last games, he played 20. Oh, no, he played 26 in this last one, 22. So I should be doing this 22 to 26. Apologies. Let me just do this again. I want to see about the minutes and what Vit does. So 20 to 26. Let's just put him comfortably there. Let's see if I can actually do this. Not a very big sample size. 3 for 6. So it's just a matter of, it's not really the minutes. It's just a matter of the shots. 4 3s to get 2 of them against this squad. How do we feel about it? It's a toss-up, man. If y'all want to bet it, I get it. I would be betting the 3s. I'm probably...
Can you get 9 points? Sometimes I do that with Hauser, where it's like the math just makes sense. It's going to make 3.
You're saying take him at an alt line of over 8.5 points?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that would get us. I don't know. I don't know if that's even going to get us plus 110. To be honest, let me just see. It's an interesting thought for sure. Yeah, because it does give you more outs than having to hit the 3, even though that's pretty much all he's doing. But I would imagine they would take that into consideration. I don't even know if they'll give us alt points. We might have to take 9 for him. Vit Krejci alt points. Wow. You can bet on anything these days. This is locked. I probably have to sign in to even bet on this, or it's just locked right now for some injury news that just came out or something. Maybe starting lineup. Did that come out perhaps? Starting lineup news? Yeah. Maybe starting lineup news would impact that too. But yeah, I think I would still just be betting the 3s. If you can get better, I think it was like plus what? Plus
DeAndre Hunter just ruled out.
Got it.
And
more Vit Krejci. Honestly,
Lonzo Ball will play Tuesday, rest Wednesday.
yeah, that's what I thought, because and he's probably going to start if Kobe White sits tonight. So we do need the Kobe White news for that Chicago game. But let's get there, because I've been on this one now for a while.
He will play.
Who dat?
White will play.
Playing. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Got it. Okay. When you said White, I didn't know if you were still talking about Vic Krejci, but you meant Kobe White. Got it. Yeah. Okay. All right, that makes sense. So then we got to wait, because DeAndre Hunter, I actually just like Vic Krejci more. I don't know if this stuff's probably not up, so we'll come back to it. Let's get to Bulls, Pellies. I took all the DeJounte Murray. He can either break my heart tonight or make me some pretty good money. So I love DeJounte tonight in this one. If you're looking at the Pellies over the course of the last 5 games, he's either played with some variation of Trey Murphy, Zion, CJ McCollum. Herb Jones was in there. Now he's out. The only guys he's playing without are Herb tonight are Herb, and he hasn't played with Brandon Ingram because he's still hurt and untradeable. But for DeJounte, I love his stuff tonight. I think he's going to get a ton of assists. What are those at? 8.5 now. So there's some 7.5 available. I took PRA at 30.5. That's probably not available anywhere, but I said I would take this at 31.5 minus 105 or better. I took him for a double plus 190. I think we sprinkle on the triple-double. I still haven't looked at that. I think Legacy King was mad at me for not talking about the triple-double for DeJounte. But, the Bulls give up everything. They give up the most or second most assists in the league, and, the third most of point guards, whatever. They give up, the third most points in the league. And, yeah, we've got Io out and expected to play Wednesday, and then Kobe in. With Lonzo out there, too, there was a good look for Giddey under points. Let me see if those are still there. Let's see what the trip dub is for our boy. And if anybody sees a triple-double number for DeJounte Murray on a different site that's better than 14-1, feels like it's worth 0.1 units. Let's look at Lonzo real quick, too. I know he's been shooting lights out, and that's definitely a good look from Free Sauce. But, man, DeJounte 14-1. If anybody finds a better number for DeJounte on the triple-double, I don't want to spend time looking at that right now, but I love his stuff tonight. I think Zion's probably going to score. Don't we all think that? I described it as Zion Williamson's going to build a small condo on top of the rim. He'll kind of be living there, catch his lobs, sip some coffee, dunk the ball while Vooch is just kind of helplessly watching from the floor where he has to play basketball because he can't jump over a piece of paper. Crank Zone keeps up in the fucking pot right now, just doubling down. We started at 30 plus for Zion, then we went 40 plus, then we said 40 plus triple double, and now we're at 60 plus points for Zion in a Michael Jordan-esque performance against the Chicago Bulls themselves. Crank Zone, you psychopath. I don't think they're offering us 60 plus points for Zion, but if they did, my boy, I know that you would be betting on it, and I love you for it. If you want to bet on Zion, cool. What was the look there, Lonzo? Our boy is hooping. 3+3s has got to be ball. Yeah. So, pun intended. Damn. So yeah. And is everything down now for a reason on this one? Do we know? Because the IO official news probably, right, David? That would be what just impacted because Lonzo's only got this one book that's probably not even up right now.
Yeah, the most recent news that I've got is the IO and Hunter.
But when was Kobe announced? Kobe White?
7 minutes ago.
Okay, so yeah, they're still gonna bring stuff out because Kobe's gonna start alongside Pat Williams, Gidey, and Vooch, and then obviously Zach LaVine, who's got a super high number. But this total has got to be it's 240 right now or something. Pull this up. It was at 238.5. It is at 241.5. Who opened this thing at 232? And do they still have a job? There's no way they still have a job if they open this at 232.5. Whoever responsible for that. All right. So Zach LaVine. Oh wow, for Zion. So if anybody scores 50 in a game, honestly, Zach LaVine and Zion could both score 50. I think now that I've talked about the DeJounte Murray triple double, I have to put that on the card or I'm going to kill myself. If he gets it, I'll never ever forgive myself if he hits it. But let's see. Yeah, this is a good one too. I think the Pelicans should what is this price here? What is this? They're plus 1.5. We should be making some bets with their money line, which is plus 102 on FanDuel. I already have this open. So you got the Murray over points and assists specifically. I like the rebounds too. Chicago gives up so many rebounds to guards. Just pulling up point guard rebounds. Point guard, they're still bottom 10. And then shooting guard, they give up the most to shooting guards. So guards overall, they give no. You're going the wrong direction, Crank Zone. You said 60 plus already. So the rebounds, I think, are great. The assists are wonderful. If you want to put this at point guard again, most to point guard, not even third most. Plus 4,000 for Zion, 50 plus points. So we couldn't get him at 60, but good find from Zeke. I'm gonna put this on the card, man. Let's look at a couple others though. If anybody has the best number on a triple double here, Outlier has not been good about getting us like double double and triple double numbers. To be honest, let me just look at it on DraftKings because I need to bet this. I need to put this bet down. And I'll move on here, but I'm going to put that down at the best number as soon as I get it. So y'all can just put that down on your cards if you want, and know that the triple double for DeJounte Murray is coming as a like 0.1 unit bet just to get something down on it. Because if it happens and I don't have even $10 on it, I'm going to be pissed. So plus 1,500 and the 14 to 1 plus 1,400, probably about the best that we're going to find right now. So appreciate that from you too, Thomas. I want to bet on Vooch. This is a great game to score against Yves Missy. He broke my heart so much last time that he's on the shit list right now. So he can fuck off. Josh Giddey points under 12.5. Now we're getting really good money. 13.5 is pretty much gone other than Bet Rivers. But I love the idea of him without Lonzo, with Lonzo out there and him going under. So those are my looks for this one. I do think you can take some points and stuff for CJ McCollum. Let me at least get to some of the, I'm not touching, by the way. If you bet on Nets Blazers, 1-800-GAMBLER in most states. And then in other states, there's various other hotlines that can help you out. But if you're trying to project the line, both of these teams are trying to lose. What do you want me, how do you project, what do you like, right? Like, I'm not talking about anymore, but like, if you have a bet in this game that you want me to look at, take it, keep it to yourself, go pick up the phone, and then all the various hotlines are all available at the bottom of all the books. I've got it at the bottom of my pages. 1-800-GAMBLER. Just stay the absolute fuck away from that. I cannot stress that enough. All right. Got that out there. So we'll talk about this game real quick. For Bucks and Kings, honestly, like, I don't have a bet on anyone on the Bucks. I really wanted to bet on Malik Monk. He's out in this game. I wanted to bet on his rebounds and assists. De'Aaron Fox is at a crazy high number, but he is hitting it without Malik Monk, for the record, if you want to put that in there. He's the guy I'd be taking for points. I'd almost be fading DeMar, to be honest. We'll see. I don't know how to break down this offense, to be honest, this year. It's just totally different. And now it's completely different without Homeboy. Without Homeboy being Mike Brown. I will say, I believe Domas has really good numbers versus the Bucks, at least as of late. Let's do last 6 games, like basically like the last 3 seasons. So once again, I mean, we're looking at 2021 numbers. Yeah, I can't even use that. It isn't even on the right team, and I would only be using maybe the last couple games. Last season had really good games against them, as you can see here. Basically, just like, let's do last 2 seasons. And they haven't played this year yet. But in the last 2 seasons, Domas totally finding his team. I don't know who's played for them. Also, this 11.5 assists is dead because he can't do that anymore. He does get a few more assists without Malik Monk. It's a really hard team for centers to play against, especially this season. They're better than they've been, Milwaukee. So, yeah, if you can still get Fox at 25.5, I suppose that's a look. But, man, it's tough. If you want to rapid fire through some of the comments too, David, I think that's a good call. I know sometimes do that. Giannis assists and triple double possibly. I do like the Giannis assists. I do like the Giannis dimes because of how bad Sacramento is versus spot up. Are they dead last now? My bad. Let me pull up 10.5 points. Wow. That's crazy. Pulling up Giannis assists. If we look at the way that Sac plays, let me pull up his points so I can show you play type. They are dead last against spot up. Yeah, they're dead last against the spot up right here. And they are, so the assists would be available. I think they're in the bottom bunch. Let me see. The Kings limiting assists are 12th limiting assists. It's weird, but they do give, like, you would think that they would give up a lot off the catch and shoot, which is where they're most vulnerable. So I prefer the Giannis assists. I also like the, I honestly just like all of it. I mean, maybe the RA, but it's so freaking high. The 5.5 assists. So this would be 6. Rebounds would be 13. So he should be 19, which would be the 18.5 RA. Minus 105, not bad. That could be a look. I mean, this is a really good rebounding team for the Kings too. So I don't have as much for this game, to be honest. Trey Lyles was a thought. I like where your head's at because I do think that they'll need other bigs out there, and this is the only other big. And to be honest, Keegan Murray's soft as doo-doo paper, right? So that's interesting actually. That's a really good point that there have been points in this matchup. Let's look at that. Just one Bucks versus Kings let's do 4 games. I think that's an interesting point by, I believe that was Peter. Some pretty high scoring games. It's actually the last one was not because it was a blowout last season. And yeah, it's just so different because we have DeMar this season. And I believe that the Kings have actually been better on defense since Mike Brown left to rally around the new coach. Bullshit. I don't really know. But we're also going to have Keon Ellis out there instead of Malik Monk, which means less money, which means
I'm going to interrupt you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Paul George is out.
Why do we do this? Why do we even bother with this? Oh my God. So who am I betting on? Justin Edwards? Does anybody know who Justin Edwards is?
So it's funny you say that because 24 seconds ago, Paul George news comes out. 5 minutes ago, Justin Edwards available to play. So I guess that was like the tea leaves to read or something.
Yeah, because he just got called up. I knew that this morning he got called up from the G League. So when a guy gets called up from the G League,
I don't even look at that.
You're
a psycho.
Thanks for calling me out, but yeah.
Is there a hotline for you?
See, that's the thing though. Like, because if you're gonna know about rotations, then you got to know who's available to play. And like, there's an extended roster that plays in the G League, so it's kind of helps them know who they are. Honestly, go to a G League game, man. They're like, AAA baseball. It's like fun as hell. G League games are fun as shit, especially if you have kids, obviously, but otherwise it's still very fun. All right.
I went to Portland.
Fuck that game then. That's going to be a 29-point game. Like that finally, did the spread finally reflect it? Yeah. Okay. Now we're at 18.5. That's hilarious. I love that look from Free Sauce. Like, who in the good God is going to score? All right, cool. So that cuts my card in fucking half.
Can we just go back to that statement for 1 second? So
one?
The G League, if you watch that stuff and you had a team that was, let's say, favorited, but you noticed a G League came up, would you sprinkle a tiny bit on the money line or something for the other team or the spread for the other team?
How do you mean?
Like, is that really something that indicates that there'll be someone out at that position later on that day?
Yeah, 100%. Yep. If you don't have the guy already available before you make the injury announcement, you're probably not going to be able to get that guy available in time to play if he's not already considered called up from the G League. So if he's still on the G League by a certain time of day, then you can't call him up to play him. And if he is announced, right, then that like there's an indication that this guy's not going to go tonight because the guy that would back him up that plays in the G League or at least be the backup to the backup is now available to play with the team. It's not a guarantee, but it's a strong indication for sure. But I thought Justin Edwards was just there to handle the maxi duties, and now both of them are out. So it's going to be him and other guys. Maybe there's some Adem Bona props that'll make Go See Mike happy. But let's close it out real quick with Nuggets and Mavs. I don't have a bet in this game either. I can see the Jokic stuff here. One thing I always want to look at with Jokic is like, what are his assists at? And if it's at 9.5, is it worth it to just take a triple double? But I think it's even money for the triple double now. So it's like, fuck off. I guess it's just a better way of playing the 9.5 assists because this man's getting rebounds and points in the double digits. That's as guaranteed as death and taxes right now. Has he had? Yeah, he's had a few games this year without 10 boards, which is wild. I'm not even going to look at those. It's when they lost by 30 or more. I don't like what I'm seeing from Murray. I really don't like. This should be a blowout as well. What's that spread at? That might be my favorite bet from this game. Is just them to cover 3.5. They suck on the road, which sucks. But like, I don't know. We'll see about Kyrie. If Kyrie's in, then this will be a better number. So I'm going to stay away from it. This day was just fucking nuked to me, like totally nuked. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I do think he'll play. Oh yeah, good call, King Wizard. Yeah, I do still have my Odds Jam account. That is best for finding the triple doubles and the most up-to-date stuff. I do agree with that. Not to give them a super big promo, but they do have that stuff available. So Reggie Jackson game. Oh my God, we forgot about Reggie Jackson. Eric Gordon, Ricky Council the fourth, Kelly and Yabusele. I started Kelly Oubre in on fantasy. Let's see about that. Where are you at, Kelly? Tsunami Poppy. Maybe there's something there. She's up to 17.5. What's the boards at? 6.5 boards. I think that's the look for Tsunami Poppy, right? There's not going to be anything. Let me see if I can find anything that like any floor minutes for Tsunami Poppy here. He's got to have some. There's been plenty of games where everybody's missing. Let's put Kelly Oubre on the court with who the fuck ever. And then, oh my God, Reggie Jackson's going to play like 32 minutes tonight. Yo, what are we going to be watching? Who's guarding the potential MVP of the league? All right, let's take everybody out. This is going to be dumb. We got no Joel, no Andre Drummond, no Caleb Martin, right? He was ruled out. No Caleb Martin, no Paul George, no Tyrese Maxey. Man, wow, Philly, y'all tank really well. You guys are very good. Let's do. This is just like can't even compute. It's just like what do you mean? I took Tyrese Maxey off court. There just are no minutes. It's just Kelly Oubre. It's not a second where he's done that. So, yeah, I think we just have to take Kelly at the fact that he's going to be playing 30-something minutes. I think the rebounds are the best play for him, and I think that's what I'm going to be hitting. Wow, you can't even get 2 threes? I mean, he's going to have the ball in his hands. Yeah, maybe Yabu. Let me see real quick. All right, yeah, maybe Yabu legacy game. I see a couple looks that I want to make sure I get to too real quick. And that one, and maybe we look at Trey Murphy when we get a sec. I do like everything Trey Murphy tonight. I think there's just going to be a ton of points. However, I just don't know which one specifically for the Pels right now because I don't have any data with all of those guys playing together enough to help me, except for that DeJounte Murray has the ball in his hands the whole time and is the clear-cut point guard who will be getting a ton of dimes and has been boarding up crazy lately. So I think he'll get points and assists. I also like the rebounds, but then outside of that, I don't know as much. And then, yeah, I'll look at Russ before we dip, but like Kelly, I'm going to play both of these things. I just don't think that's up right now. I think that's probably not pulling through correctly, but let me go. No, not this one. My bad. Let me go to Thunder Sixers player points. I mean, honestly, like rebounds and assists for this man. So rebounds, do we have Oubre? Yeah, so 6.5 is minus 125, or it's minus 120 for over 6.5, which is not a bad number. I don't think this is going to be up on FanDuel right now. So that's 16 is the number for the spread. There's no backups to play for the backups when this turns into a blowout. Forget everything I said about the third quarter. This game's over in the second. I just like there's nobody. 6+ rebounds, can't get that. Yeah, so Kelly's not available on this one just yet, I don't think. Yeah, they don't have anything up yet on FanDuel. It's just DraftKings that is figuring it out right now. But I think Kelly's rebounds are the play to start. I think 7+. Maybe we play a double-double. I'm going to go look at this right now. This game starts in 20 minutes. Yeah. All right. I'm going to look at this. I got to do some work. We'll get some more stuff here. I hate that all the info came out right as we got a dip, but I got to get some things in for the VIP Discord. You can still jump in there if you want. Hit me up on Discord and Twitter. Or Twitter at JLBoogie can help you get a free month if you sign up for one of the books. If you have questions about any of it, I'll help you get a free month in the VIP and check it out for yourselves. But all right, appreciate you guys all tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, as David's reminding us all. So hope to see y'all there. I don't know if I'll have a video out tonight. I have back-to-back hoops games in the league, which sucks. Knock on wood, just stay healthy. Got both ankle braces on lock. So we'll see if we can get a video out late night, but we'll see because there's so many teams on the back-to-back tomorrow. I doubt we'll even have lines. Now that I'm thinking about it. What a great time to have 2 hoops games. Best bet of the day was Paul George. I mean, I don't have enough on the card right now, bro. I don't just last little tirade. I don't like really go with a best bet versus another one. Take DeJounte Murray, PRA. That's the answer to that. Short answer is that. Long answer is I don't have always a best bet, slightly more confidence than others, but they're all my babies, so I don't like to kill them. Give that video a like as we're on the way out. Appreciate you, Swish. My fellow 87, bro, right? I'm pretty sure. Same age. Maybe even a Josh, too. Either way, my guy, I'll see y'all tomorrow when we're there. And in the morning tomorrow, I will have the video up with picks for tomorrow's slate, or as many as I can get down. So appreciate you guys. Best of luck tonight. Until I see you tomorrow, happy betting.